What's going on, Steelers fans and family? Welcome to the Renegade Nation podcast. I'm your host, Gregory Collins. Um, just a little bit of housekeeping before we go ahead and get started with today's episode. Um, like I said, my name is Gregory Collins. I am the host for this show. Um, really, I just wanted to make a show just giving a voice to everyday fans like myself. Just going over everything that's happening, when the season starts, the games during free agency and the draft. Just really kind of giving a voice and a platform for everyday fans like myself to kind of vent a little, something like that. Just get what's off our chest. Um, and plus a little bit of news here around the league and mainly obviously focusing on Steelers. So I'll just go over a few things just in case anyone hasn't been keeping up much with everything. There was Cole Holcomb was restructured a few days ago. He saved $4 million in cap space. Yesterday they traded for DK Metcalf. It was a second round pick and a pick swap. We got a sixth. We gave them a seventh. Um, and we got DK. So Omar, great job. Um, Now I'm curious, are they going to leave George Pickens in the lineup, see how he does this year, and then give him a contract extension? Are they going to ship him for additional draft capital? We'll see. But also, Larry Ogunjobi was cut today. It saved $7 million. So our cap space right now, we'll see with Darius Slay. He was reportedly coming to Pittsburgh. So we'll see what that looks like with a new deal. Probably going to be a 1 year deal. But right now that leaves us around 30 to 40 million in cap space. That's usable. If you see me looking this way, it's because I have my notes this way. So with all that out of the way, I guess the first bit of news that I kind of want to hear from you guys. Aaron Rodgers. What are we feeling? It seems like a lot of people are saying that he's going to be the guy. Now I am recording this. It's 5:34 on Monday the 10th, so of March. So we'll see what happens. If anything happens during this recording, you'll know. But if not, that's why. Um, but how are we feeling about him? I, for one, not the biggest fan. I think it's a little contradictory with them saying they wanted someone with mobility, youth. Those are not things that Aaron Rodgers has ready at his arsenal. I think he's a good thrower. I think that he'll be good with the people that are on the team. Um, but I'm just not sure how he fits personality with George Pickens and DK. Just how he fits in the scheme. I know he has respect for Mike Tomlin, but I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot of ifs. Um, Not a big fan of Russ either. I mean, again, good thrower, but the last 5 games in the season, it's not all on him, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunities he left on the field. Um, Also, just his non-throwing over the middle of the field. I know there was a report of Mike Tomlin saying something, but unless I hear from him, I'm not sold that he doesn't just want to throw over the middle of the field. Sounds like something he might say, but not sure. Um, Honestly, I don't know what to do at quarterback. They let Justin Fields go. I wouldn't have paid him all that guaranteed money, but I don't know really what to do. Um, if it's not Aaron or Russell, I know there's a few teams. The Titans are possibly looking into Russell Wilson. Um, the Giants are looking at both of them. We'll see what Pittsburgh does. If not, I mean, it's going to be a bridge quarterback and a rookie. Whether that's Daniel Jones, or someone else. Uh, it's going to be rough at the position this year, in my opinion. Um, Besides that, they still have cornerback. As of the time of this recording, the two slot corners that I thought that they were going to go for, but there was I think it was Jordan Phillips or whatever his name is. He got signed, and then there was the guy from the Raiders, Nate Hobbs, I believe his name is. He's being moved. He got signed on a big deal to the Packers, I want to say. Um, so that really leaves one guy, which I'm pretty pumped for if they sign him would be Mike Hilton as the last top guy in free agency at slot corner. I wouldn't mind a little reunion. Um, Let me know how you guys feel about that, though. Um, Also, we have defensive linemen. There are a few that got taken out. Puna Ford was a guy that I liked, but he got picked up. DJ Jones got picked up. BJ Hill got re-signed. So there's not really a lot going on for um, defensive tackle. I mean, another reunion, Javon Hargrave would be a good pickup if you want to slide him into the nose. I think that's a really good pickup actually. Um, but options are running out. Obviously, with everything going on the 12th at 4, we'll kind of see more official things happen later today, and tomorrow we'll see some new signings. Um, I wouldn't expect a lot of the next few days necessarily, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Um, yeah, that's really all I got on free agency signings. Um, it's looking slim. Maybe another wide receiver gets picked up if they don't keep George Pickens. I'm not really sure. I mean, me and myself, I'm fine with keeping George Pickens and having Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin come behind him, possibly a rookie. I could totally see them trading George Pickens for a second, possibly. Hopefully, I would say he's worth a second because of his youth and talent. Um, but yeah, possibly trading George Pickens for draft capital, maybe not. Um, we'll see how that goes. Um, I mean, there are a few cornerback options left. I mean, there's Travarius Ward. His market's looking like around 15 million a year. He'll be 30 by the start of the season. There's still Byron Murphy. He's looking about 22 million a year. Possibly, Spotrac has him at a 4-year deal worth 22.1 million a year. He's 27. He'll be 27 for the season. I mean, those are two guys that you could possibly get. They got Darius Slay, so I don't really see them doing that. Given that none of them are really slots, but if you wanted to try to get Byron Murphy, move him to the slot, um, I just don't see it. Um, I think they really missed an opportunity by not going for one of them too, before Darius Slay, but it is what it is. Now I'm not sure if he was signed yet, but Sheldon Rankins possibly for D tackle, moving inside from the Bengals. I think that might be a decent pickup, just to have somebody there, bigger body to plug up the hole. Um, the one I am interested in, and I want you guys' opinion on this down in the comments, is running back. I know they put the second round tender on Jalen Warren. I believe he'd be good for his ability to have that burst. We all know that speed and just being able to take some hits. But there are a few options. I don't think Najee's coming back, but we got J.K. Dobbins. He's injury prone, but he is an option. Spotrac has him at a 2-year deal worth 4.1 million a year. He's 26. Gus Edwards as a third down guy, 4 million a year on a 1-year deal. He'd be 29, 30 by the start of the season. AJ Dillon, they have him as a 4 million for a 1-year deal. He'll be 27. Kareem Hunt, he'll be 30, but he's looking at 2.6 for a 1-year deal. So, any of those guys, I think I'd actually be pretty happy with. And then possibly drafting a guy and keeping him, teaching him, the roles unless they get it's a deep class. So the possibility of getting one of those guys more as competition and then letting that guy come up through the ranks and earn his way into a starting role. I think that's a very plausible option. But I guess my big question is, let me know down below for what you guys' thoughts are. Who do you think they should try to go after in free agency? Is there a quarterback? Is it Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson? Would you rather have somebody else draft a guy? Me myself, I would rather see. I'd probably would rather take not Justin Fields, um, Russ over Aaron Rodgers. Um, just because with the guys in the draft this year, I think he'd be able to relate to those guys a little more with their playability if they're going to draft a guy and Storm as the second um, QB2. Um, so as far as I'm seeing, I don't see any updates unless I'm missing something. I don't see any updates. Let me check and see um, if there's anything going on that I may have missed. Oh, looks like Twitter's down again. Have you guys been experiencing that? Has Twitter just been acting up for you guys too? Let me know down below what you guys have been having. If you guys been having issues. Um, no, no, I'm not really seeing anything. So yeah, not seeing anything really at all. So there was another one for defensive tackle too. What are you guys' thoughts on Jonathan Allen possibly coming? Okay, so some updates just to correct some stuff that I said. Travarius Ward going to the Colts, 3-year, $60 million deal, 35 guaranteed. So that's off the board. Um, I'm happy he's getting a fresh start after everything that happened with him. Anything else? Not really. The I know you guys will like this. It says the Browns are trading for Kenny Pickett and they're getting DTR and a fifth back. Kenny to the Browns from Ian Rappaport. I mean, good luck to Kenny. Hopefully he does well. He's probably going to get a shot given that I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to be playing, so we'll see Kenny 2 times this year possibly. If he doesn't flop, good luck to you, brother. Adam Schefter, Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs going to the Patriots for 2 years. So there's that. Yeah, there's a lot moving still. Looks like they said Tanner McKee has really impressed the Eagles and has pushed Kenny Pickett for the number 2 spot behind Jalen Hurts. Yikes. Yikes. That's all I'm seeing on this feed right now. Oh, oh man. Yeah, I guess what do you guys think about that? Um, I'm happy Kenny's getting a spot somewhere else, but I'm glad it's not on the Steelers. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. So that's majority of the news. Kenny Pickett's going to the Eagles, or Kenny Pickett's going to the Browns for DTR and a fifth. They're still debating between Russ and Rodgers. Wow, like that's what's funny to me. But yeah, I guess let's move on to what's going to be the last segment of this. There are going to be more segments in the future. Um, we'll have some question and answers. Eventually we'll be doing some live shows as this thing gets bigger. Yeah, just let me know what you guys' predictions are for the rest of free agency, at least in this legal tampering period to the start of the new season. Coming up, we got some pro days that are coming up. I know. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I know their pro days on the 26th. So be looking forward to that. The pro days will be coming in the next couple weeks into close to the draft. And I guess before we get started, let me know what you guys think. We can drop some mock drafts. We can drop some, predictions. I think right now their number one target most likely is going to be defensive tackle or corner, possibly corner, slot corner. But if they keep everything the way that it is, I think it's going to be defensive tackle in the first round. So here are a few prospects I'm seeing. So I'm thinking Kenneth Grant out of Michigan, Derek Harmon out of Oregon if he falls. Like I said, I'm an Ohio State guy, so I'm a fan of Tyleik Williams. I think he'll be a really good prospect in the NFL with his size and athleticism. We'll see. Um, but if not D tackle in the first, I mean, if Darius Alexander out of Toledo, I know they had an eye on him in the Senior Bowl, I believe it was. We'll see if he falls. If he does, look for them to possibly maybe make a move back into the second round to go, or if he falls to the third round, maybe moving up in the third round a little to try to get him. If it was me and I was the GM, and I know I'm asking off to let me know, but again, let me know how you feel about this. If it was me, I would try to trade down. Obviously, not with. Um, Hopefully, it would be with an NFC team. But if so, with an AFC team, just not Baltimore. I don't trade down with division rivals. But if they were to trade down, say maybe Green Bay, um, Buffalo, um, Houston, possibly. I believe they have a lower pick. Um, I think doing that in a second round pick again. There's a possibility of trading George Pickens for a second. I would rather just trade down. Um, because there's going to be a lot of prospects available. So in the first round, like I said, D tackle Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon. If he falls, Tyleik Williams are my big three guys. I don't think Mason Graham's going to make it that far. Also out of Michigan. You also have cornerback possibly. I know they had a big interest in Jahdae Barron out of Texas. If Will Johnson falls down, I think they're gonna just get him. I think that's a guy you don't really want to pass up on, especially now having Darius Slay um, there to kind of teach the younger guys. Those are two guys I would keep an eye on myself. Um, Now, if it was me, I would definitely consider trading down um, to absorb another second round pick. I know they have a six now. Maybe they'll use another seven, then a six to try to package it and move up in the later rounds, maybe fourth, um, and try to double up there. I would try to move up to the second round, or move down some to get another pick in the second round. Um, because I just think there's still too many holes to kind of leave empty. You're leaving a lot on the table if you don't. Um, Other guys that I think are good, would be good fits later in the round if you want to double dip at D tackle. Um, there's that tackle out of Texas, Ormond Lott or something like that. Uh, Getting him out of Texas would be good. I think would be a decent pickup. Like I said, Darius Alexander, if he's still there, would be a decent pickup. Another guy that I think I like a lot is TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. I think it's an interesting pick. If they decide to go corner in the first round, I think TJ Sanders is a good guy. If Tyleik Williams, again, if he falls into the second round, which is a possibility, that's a heavy D tackle class. If they're able to get a decent pick in the second round, I think that would be huge. That'd be a steal. Corners outside of the first couple, I'm not really impressed. Darian Porter ran a good 40 on Iowa State. But besides that, I mean, there's not really a lot. Maybe they go with the safety to get that third safety in there for the safety rotation. Um, but quarterback. Also, I think if you're going in, I would go round 3, round 4, more round 4 than round 3. Um, you got Quinn Ewers. I don't think Jackson Dart will be there at the time, but I'm not a big fan of him. If you watch his combine, he looked pretty good, but um, he doesn't have great anticipation on his throws, which you can kind of see on some of them in there. He throws a little later than the when the route breaks down. Um, and I think that can lead to some issues. They can be fixed, but I think it will lead to some issues, at least to start. Quinn Ewers and Will Howard are the two that I think the Steelers will have the biggest interest in. That will probably still be there in the round 3, round 4 area. Um, I mean, it's kind of pick your poison. Quinn Ewers is a little shorter, still has a big arm, um, a little mobile, um, has a lot of moxie. But he's a little bit of he's younger, but a little bit of a same issue with Jackson Dart. I think he has a little bit of anticipation problems. Will Howard, I think, is a good prospect, but how far will he grow? He's an older prospect. I think he was 6 years in college or 5 years in college, out of Ohio State. I think he has probably uh, the best ability to dissect defenses and analyze defenses and make those throws out of everybody. But how capped is his potential? I'm a believer in him, but not everyone is. Um, but it's really pick your poison. Like I said, Quinn Ewers, Will Howard, I'm good with. I'm not a big fan of Dylan Gabriel. Height, it's 5'10". And I mean, maybe Mike Tomlin might like that with the throwing over the middle of the field thing, but I'm just more of a fan of Quinn or Will Howard's skill set. Um, Kind of the last little bit here, running back. You have, I think, a guy they're going to have a lot of interest in, Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State. He had a rough 2024, but Oklahoma State didn't have a great year in 2024. 2023, he was amazing. That would have been his year, but uh, I think, good pass catcher out of the backfield. Could use a little bit more balance, I think, and his technicality picking out the pockets in the offensive line. Um, Quinshawn Judkins and Trayvon Henderson out of Ohio State. Two really big guys. I think they're probably going to go with one of those guys if I had to guess between him and then if Caleb Johnson starts to fall, and they want to use a round 2 pick. I would say um, Caleb Johnson's a good pick. I just think because there's so many top running backs that are kind of in the same category after Ashton Denty, you have Amarian Hampton, most people's number 2, then Caleb Johnson, Trayvon Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, Ollie Gordon, Devin Neal. A lot of these guys are going to be kind of in the same pocket, I believe, for a lot of teams. Um, so I mean, it's kind of pick your poison. A lot of these guys have a lot of similar traits. A lot of them are good pass catchers out of the backfield. Henderson has a lot of really good speed. Caleb Johnson does too. If it was me, I would go with a guy who's has a little more of that top end speed. I think that's something that Steelers um have been lacking in their rushing attack is a lot of speed. And we had Najee. I don't think he's coming back, but he has, in my opinion, the old Steelers kind of way. You know what I mean? And I think that they should look for more guys who still have good contact balance, but do have a lot of good speed as well. Um, that's really all I have when it comes to draft. Um, Now there are a few moves kind of circling back towards what's this? The quarterback was traded. 20th overall pick of the 2020 changing teams after one start. Let's see what it is. Oh, while that's loading up, like I said, there's a few moves the Steelers can still make. Um, in my opinion, if you have some cap space, they could do a restructure on Pat Fryermuth, possibly another restructure on Alex Highsmith. I heard some people say that not to do a contract restructure on Pat Fryermuth because they literally just did it. Oh, okay, yeah, it was a Kenny Pickett trade. Nothing new. It was just titled differently. That was it. Um, yeah, nothing new about that. So, um, yeah, I heard some people say you can't do Pat Fryermuth. He just signed an extension. They did it to Alex Highsmith a few years ago when he first got his contract. They restructured it a couple months after. So I don't see the big issue in it. Um, Contract extension for TJ. That's gonna be big. They're gonna need to make a lot of room. Um, I think they should have done it earlier, maybe even a year ago, and extended him. Now you have Max Crosby. Miles Garrett got a huge payday. They're probably gonna have to find a way to pay TJ unless he takes a hometown discount, which I don't see why. I don't see why. Um, 40 million plus a year is gonna be tough. They're gonna have to make space because they're gonna need room for all the rookies and possible more moves to make. Um, let's see if there's any new news before we finish up here. Um, Let me know how you guys feel about the format of this. I'm just in my room. I'm gonna try to do between 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the week. If you guys want longer set of videos, we can do that. Um, but right now we're gonna try to keep it around 30 to 35 minutes. Um, but let's see if we can find. Let me get back into my notes here. Um, One second, guys. Let's see if there's any other moves that we can see. Let's see, because they already did Larry Ogunjobi. Already did that. Milton Williams was another one that was a really big hit. Cordell Patterson is another cap casualty that could save a little under 3 million. There he did Preston Smith. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of moves. Um, but I mean, they just restructured Cole Holcomb. They're not gonna move on from him. Isaac Sayamalu possibly. If there's a guard that comes up that could be more effective with less room or less impact on the cap. Um, Possibly looking at what did I say? Isaac Sayamalu. Maybe going through the draft to find something for him. I don't think so. I think they're gonna need him as the kind of the more veteran guy out of everyone to keep everything together. What was that? Nothing. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure exactly how they're gonna go about it. They're gonna have to make room for TJ. I think he deserves a contract extension, a big one at that. Probably, I mean, depending on everything goes, could be his last if they do like a 5-year big max deal. Um, we'll see how everything goes. Um, I would I wouldn't do anything with Isaac Sayamalu. I think keep him and keep let the line grow together. Um, I do think they might make a move at running back just so they can have another guy there that's not Jalen Warren. I would get rid of Cordell Patterson to save that space, even though it's just a little bit. It'll save some. Bring in another guy, either like a guy equal to Jalen Warren, possibly a third, more like a RB3 kind of guy, with some return value. Um, but let me know what you guys think. What would you do? Who would you draft if you were Omar Khan and the Steelers? Um, for me, like I said, I would trade down, gain some assets, and build out of the draft there. D tackle, interior guy, possibly wide receiver. They did have a top 30 visit with Darian Porter out of Iowa State. Not Darian Porter, what am I thinking? Jalen Knoll, I think, is who it was. I want to say Jalen Knoll was the top 30 visit. Let me get that for you guys before I hop on out of here. And that's another thing we'll be on the show that we'll be keeping up on is top 30 visits and stuff that's happening in some stuff that's happening in the draft. I don't know if they'll be doing it, but we'll see how everything looks with their wide receiver. With their wide receiver. The room they also did. I forgot to mention they did re-sign Ryan McCollum. I think that was a good sign for backup depth behind Zach Frazier. I think he did a really good job in the 2 games that he was there. Let's see. Oh, did they come up with a? No. 1 sec, everyone. Let's see. It was. What's it? I'm sure it was. Yeah, Jalen Noel out of Iowa State. So possibly that might be a move. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. One thing I wanted to put on there is if you guys do have anything that you want to share and you wanted to get to me personally, that I'll be able to see it. I will be checking the comments on all the videos. But I have an email set up for the show. It is renegadenation1933@gmail.com. Again, that's renegadenation1933@gmail.com. You can email me, mock drafts, trade scenarios, free agency signings that predictions that you would have, any of that. You can email me there. I'll make sure to put you on the show, give you a shout out. So that's going to be it for episode 1. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, peace.